So back in October, I played this weird point-and-click adventure horror game on my channel and on stream, but simply playing it is not enough. I can't not touch on this game again, but why? Why can't I stop thinking about this game? Was it even good? We must go deeper. Wait, what? Harvester was developed by DigitFX Interactive, formerly known as Future Vision. Harvester had a rocky development. Gilbert P. Austin, the creative designer and writer for the game, actually wrapped up all creative work on Harvester in 1994, but programming took much longer than expected, and it wouldn't see release for another 2 years. Are you serious? 1996 was a big year for games, so by the time Harvester came out, it was dated, even by 1996 standards. The game was a commercial flop and it was panned by critics. The studio closed in 1997, canceling several projects. Harvester would be the only game released under the DigitFX Interactive name. But, behind the scenes in the bowels of the internet, Harvester would grow a cult following. And flash forward to 2014, the game was given new life as it was re-released on GOG.com and Steam to ironically positive reviews. What? Oh! Okay, that's all great, that's swell, but what about the game itself? Undoubtedly, the biggest draw to this game is the freaking weird factor. Harvester uses digitized actors to portray its characters, a technique that was popular in the 90s, and it gives the game's over-the-top violence and unsettling realism. Fake as hell, and borderlining on comical but unsettling. That's kind of the whole point. It was comical, it was tongue-in-cheek. The whole game is very self-aware and actually incorporates violence and censorship into its storyline. Harvester knows how ridiculous Harvester is.
That's Let me stab you. Wait, no. You pervert. No.
Set in 1953, you play as Steve, who always was a kidder.
You always were a kidder, Steve.
Steve awakens with a serious case of amnesia. With no recollection of the past, Steve must explore the small suburban town of Harvest. After interacting with the townsfolk and the people who claim to be your family, one thing is clear. There's something very wrong in Harvest. Oh no. This is getting so weird. Many of the townsfolk reference the Lodge, some sort of secret organization that they urge you to join. Realizing that the Lodge may be the key to uncovering what's really going on in Harvest, Steve makes that his goal. Joining is not so simple, however, as to first become an initiate, you must complete a series of increasingly trivial tasks.
More pie, Sheriff?
Don't mind if I do.
Ironically, I found the road to joining the Lodge to be a lot more enjoyable than the Lodge itself. It's strange that about 3/4 of the way through the game, it does a complete 180 and starts to incorporate completely new mechanics and combat. The combat,
Go. I got this guy.
It's
He's my
temperament.
chainsaw on his ass.
Harvester was made in the 90s, thus has 90s video game sensibilities. In modern games, if an item is interactable, the game will let you know. It'll be highlighted or it'll be flashing. Harvester has none of that. Important items are seamlessly blended into the background, so you can't tell if you can pick it up or not. This results in a lot of random clicking around, and had me referencing a guide on more than one occasion for tips on how to progress. I swear, there are things that you just wouldn't know unless you read a guide. Oh my god, we had to use our furniture dolly on the shelves. The best part of Harvester is definitely the townsfolk. They steal the show, each one crazier than the next. The perverted cop, the crazy neighbor, the flaming firefighters.
Hello, Steve.
They make up some of the craziest moments in Harvester that'll make you stop and say, what the f***? It's those moments that will stick with you long after playing the game, for better or for worse.
You don't know the half of it.
Harvester is a game that has stuck with me. It's good and it's bad at the same time, it's dark and it's light, it's all of the oxymorons. The 90s weren't short on weird point-and-click adventure games, and Harvester is neither the best nor the scariest, but it's definitely one of the most interesting and most bizarre, a cult classic, and worth checking out if you're a fan of the genre.
Just pour it right straight up for yourself. See if it works.
Yo, whoa!
Is this enough head for you, Rattel? Is this enough head, dog?
Oh,
This is all you get for your birthday.
You get the most head, dude. It's your birthday.
He compensates everyone else's head.
Yeah, just pour it in, dude.